Suppose we can define our own items here. Okay, we can define our own items. Okay, and we can loop through that items. Okay, so item enumerator in this, what I can do is I can define by, we can go and see, I can add n number of columns. How many columns you want? You can add a number of columns, and you can hard code any values. Okay, so you can do hard code any items or any values. Okay, so any items. So let us say something like campus. Okay, so you can hard code any values or any items, and you can loop through the items. Okay, it will send these items one by one. Okay, into the variables. Okay, it will send one by one into the corresponding variables, and we can loop through those hard coded values. But when we will use this, when we will use this in the real time. Okay, hard coding value is nothing. No one will do hard coded values and loop through the items. Okay, but how this is going to be useful for us? How the hard coded items are going to be useful for us is, so let us say one of the requirement is I have multiple databases. Let us say so one of the requirement is, let me go. So let us say I have some multiple sources. So let us say from server A. Okay, from server A. Okay, in one of the database, I have one table 1 with 4 columns. Okay, I have one table 1 with 4 columns. And again, in another server, okay, let us say server B. In another server, I have one more table with the same 4 number of columns. Okay, so table 2. Okay, and here also I have 4 columns. Here also I have 4 columns. So again, I have one more server C. Okay, in another database. Okay, so here also I have one more table. Okay, here also I have 4 columns. Now, first of all, I want to get the data from this server A table, and I need to push it. Okay, this is my destination. So, which is present in different server with different database. So, let us say server D. Okay, so I have one more source. So, I have to push the data like this. Okay, so one after the other source data, I need to get it and push it to the same destination table. Then how you can design this package? How will you design this package? Okay, so can we design, so for moving the source data, into destination, so we'll go and create one data flow task. Okay, and again for moving this source data into the same destination table, we'll go and create one more data flow task. Inside this, we will take the OLDB source and OLDB destination, and we'll push the data. So like this. And again for moving this third source, again we'll go and design one more data flow task. Okay, like this. Suppose if I have a 20 tables, if I have a 20 sources like this, so will you go and create 20 data flow tasks, or will you handle it by using only a single data flow task? Yes, we can handle through single data flow task. Instead of creating 3 data flow tasks, I can handle using a single data flow task. Okay, along with it by using the for each loop container. Okay, by using the for each loop container, we can handle it. Okay, using a single data flow task and changing the connection, changing the source database connection at runtime. Okay, so changing the source database connection at runtime, we can handle. Okay, we can handle through creating a single data flow task. Okay, let us see how we can do that. Okay, so by taking the help of item container, okay, item enumerator, I can handle that. So let us see how we can do that. So first of all, let me connect to the server and let me show you some three sources. So let me take one of the source as db ishan. Okay, so let me create a table here. Okay, table source one. So let me go and have, let me have source one. Okay, so create table source one. So let us have id, integer, need name, employee name, worker 20. Okay, some salary as integer. Okay, so let me have some APID one. Okay, so I think the source 01. So I'm creating a table here. Okay, but after that, let me insert the data. So insert into table source 01 values. So let's make it as employee one. So some short. Okay, and some salary has 20,000. Okay, so I have created a table. Okay, source one, and I am inserting it. So let me create some more sources. Let me create. So let me take db underscore Kaushik as second source. So let me go for source 2. So here source 02, source 02. Okay. So let me have employee 2. Let me have database name is Kaushik 1. Let me have the Kaushik and 30,000. Okay, my second source also is ready. Let me execute this. So have second source also is ready. Let me go for third source. So let me have db Shah, db Kaushik. Let me go for db Mohan as the third source. Okay. So let me go for source 3. Okay. So let me go for 3. Let me go for 4. Something like 50,000. Okay. Now let me create one destination. So in another database, let me have db size 7 as the destination. Let me go for new query for db size 7. So let me create a destination. Okay. So let me have table underscore destination 01. Okay. So I'm just creating a table here. I'm just creating a table here. Okay. So right now go and see how many records are there in this table. So this is my destination table right now. Let us see how many records. Okay. Now you can see there are no records. Okay. Now after insertion, I want to see one more time. Okay. Now let us see. Now I have three sources. Now let us see how we can handle it by creating a single data flow task using the for each loop container. Okay. Now let us go for it. Go to the collection. So let me make this as item enumerator. Okay. Now let me add our, so one column for server name, one column for database name, one column for table name. Okay, I have added three columns. Now in the first one, so let me specify the server name. So for all these, the server name is same, that is Balaji FNPC. Okay, so source one is DB short. Okay, so let me specify the column name. Column 0, let me specify the server name here, Balaji FNPC. And after that, let me specify the database name, that is db underscore issued. So let me specify the server name db underscore ishan. And what is the source the table name? So this is my table name, table underscore source 0. Table underscore source 0. So this is what to SRC. So source 01. What is the second connection name? So server name is same, Balaji FLPC. And what is the database name? I think db underscore Kaushik. So source 2 is so db underscore Kaushik. Now let us go for table underscore source 02. And what is the third source? Server name is Balaji FLPC. This is my server name. Database name is db Mohan. So source 3 is db underscore Mohan. Okay. Now let us go for table name, table underscore source underscore. Okay. Now, so these are all the list of sources. Okay. Now, what this item enumerator will do is, I have specified the server name, database name, and table name. No? Now go to the variable mappings. So in the first column, okay, in the first column, column 0, what we are sending? We are sending the server name, no, Balaji PC. No? Now, let me capture that name in a new variable. Let us say variable underscore server. Let me do the variable name also as server name. Okay, it is of string data type. Yes. Index 0 is column 0 value. That is this value. First, it will go to the first row. It will send this name into this variable, but we can capture it using this variable. And it will go to the second column, first row. So that is database name. So let me capture that database name. Okay. Inside a one more variable called variable db name. Database name. It is also string data. Yes. Now you can see column one value will be stored in this. So let me go for first row, third column data. This is the table name. Let me store that in one more variable with a variable underscore table. Table name. Yes. It is also string data type. Yes. Okay. So this container. So I have specified the list of databases, list of table names which I want to loop through, and these names will be captured in these variables. Okay. Now let me drag and drop one data flow task inside this. Now go to this. Now, first of all, let me see what is my first source. Database name is db underscore Ishan. Now, let me create a connection. So I want to get the data from one of the SQL source. So my source table is present in which database? First of all, create a static connection. So my first source is present inside a db Ishan. Let me go for it. Okay. Now click on OK. Sorry. So let me select the db underscore Ishan. Okay, this is my connection. Or you want to create a new connection, go for new. So let us specify the Balaji IPC. This is my server name. What is the database name? That is db underscore Ishan. So I have created a, first of all, I have created a connection. So in that, which table data you want to push? That is table underscore source 01. Let me select. Okay. table underscore source 01. So 1 is our 20,000. Now my source connection is ready. Now where you want to push, so into another SQL table, no? Let me select the OLEDP destination, and so where is your destination table is present, in which database? DB7 table underscore destination 01. Okay, code create a connection for it. So this is your destination table. Okay, go to the mappings. Okay, employee enable server. Okay, so this will work for the first connection, first source to destination table. Okay, now what you want to do is, I want to change this connection. Okay, I want to change this connection into dynamic. No? So what can I do is, so this is a whatever we have created is a static connection which will work for the first source to first destination. Okay, first source to destination. Now, how can I change my source connection? Okay, how can I change the source connection to the second source at runtime? Okay, so to the second source at runtime is first one. Okay, so first one. So I have already created a static connection. No? So for this now, when the first value goes, it has to take this server name and database name and table name and push the data from this table to destination. Once the first one is done, it has to come to the second row, connect to this database and take this table data and push it to the destination. So it has to loop through each row and automatically change the connection to the corresponding database. Okay, it has to connect to the corresponding database. How to change the connection? Here we have already defined the static. Now how to change this connection at runtime is, go to the source connection, that is db underscore ishano. Go to the source connection, go to the properties of the source connection. Okay, go to the properties of the source connection. Now here you can see this is the static connection. Biology PC is the database server name, TB is Ishar is the database name. Okay. Now, in this connection, when you are creating a connection to the database, you will specify the server name and database name. No? So, this is a static. How can I change this to dynamic is, go to the expressions, go to this icon. Now, we have one server name should be there. Now, you can see we have one server name. Go and select this and take the server name from this variable. Okay, take the server name value from this variable. So into this variable, we are passing the server name from the container. Okay, so take the server name from this variable and take the database name also. That is, database name is nothing but initial catalog. So here also you can see initial catalog means DB issue. Okay, so we have one initial catalog property. So take the database name from this variable. Database name from this variable. So for creating a connection, I require the server name and database name. So I am changing it here dynamically. I am making the static connection to dynamic connection like this. Okay. Now you can see data source is empty here. Initial catalog is empty here. Why? Because I have changed this connection to fx. You can see take it from the expression value is dynamic. Okay. Now go to this. So we have specified the server name and database name to take it from the expressions, to take it from the container variables. Now, how to pass the table name also at runtime? How to change the table name at runtime? So to change the table name, So why? Because in the first server, okay, in the source one, my table name is this one. The DB Ishan, my table name is this one. Now if I go to the second source, DB Kaushik, my table name is different here. So how can I change the table name at runtime? How can I change it is, go to this, okay. So here to change the table name, to take the table name from a variable in the data access mode, we have an option called table name or view name variable. Means is your table name is coming in a variable? Yes. Go on, use this option. In which variable name your table name is coming? That is v underscore table name. Take this. Click on OK. Okay. Now click on OK. Okay. Now let us go for give some table name a default value since we have provided. Okay. And go to this. Click on OK. Click on OK. So let it be like that. Now what I am doing is I have changed my connection to dynamic connection. I have got the database properties. Okay, here my connection, earlier it was a static connection. Now I by taking the help of expressions, okay, I have told that okay, take the server name and database name from the container variables. After that, come to here, take the table name variable from the whatever the value it is coming from the container like this. So even though it shows some warning, so let it be like that. Click on OK. Okay, and that's it. Now go to the container level properties and specify the delay validation as true. So we have an option called delay validation, means it will check whether the table is existed or not before execution. But I now am making that validation check. Okay, a validation check also I am delaying. Don't do before execution. Do it while execution. Okay. Now let us go and see. So it will take the value server name, database name and table name from those variables and change the connection dynamically at runtime. Okay. Point it to the, now you can see 3 times it is executed. Now you can go and see in the destination table whether all the 3 records are coming or not. Now you can see Ishan, Kaushik, Mohan. So all the 3 data source tables records are pushed into the destination table one by one. Okay. So this is how by using a single data flow task we can push the data from multiple source to the single destination like this. Okay, understood? So that is the use of this item enumerator and we can receive the interview question compulsory on this. Okay, if I have 20 sources of data and we have want to push all those 20 sources data into a single destination, how we can push it? Whether you can go for 20 data flow tasks or how is your approach? Okay, so by taking the help of for each loop container, we can handle it using a single data flow task. Okay, understood? So this is about item integrate. Now let me go for one more thing. Now let me go for ADO.schema row set enumerator. So what is this schema row set enumerator? Means if you want to loop through the database, if you want to loop through the any database objects or schema objects, objects are schemas. Okay, if you have a database and if you want to know the list of tables or list of store procedures or list of views, whatever you want from the database, if you want to get those information, we can go for and use this ADO.NET schema row set enumerator. Okay, now this is specified as ADO.NET. Now we can create a by using this enumerator only the ADO.NET providers are allowed. Means we can create a connection to the database by using this ADO.NET provider only. I can connect to a database by using this .NET provider. Now let me go for new. Now you can see the provider name is .NET provider. Okay, and here you can see .NET provider for OLEDB. This only I can take it. I have to go for .NET providers for OLEDB object linking enable database. And here let me select this SQL Server database. I want to connect to the SQL Server native client. Okay, so I have to go for .NET providers for OLEDB. Now specify the server name. So if I take any other provider, it won't allow. Only this is allowed. Okay, .NET provider for OLEDB. So let me go for Balaji for PC. This is my server name. So you can take any database. Let me go for DB7. Okay, just connect. So if I want to loop through this database objects of this DB7, okay, I can go and see. I can go and connect to that. Now let us see the what type of items I can loop through. So if I want to loop through the primary keys or indexes, primary keys present in this database or store procedures present in the database, table constraints, tables, whatever you want, views. Okay, so which are this information you want to loop through? Okay, so these are all called as objects of this database. Okay, schema objects of this database. Okay, so I can go and select any one. Let me select the tables. So I want to loop through the table items, table objects of this database. Okay, that's it. Now let us go and click on. Now you can see we have an option called restriction options. Now about this table, it is going to give me these four information. What is the data catalog with database? What is the database name? What is the schema name of this table? What is the table name of this table? Okay, and what is the table type? Whether it is a system table or user created table. Okay, now click. So for a table, this is going to give me this four information. Suppose if I select any other thing, let us say primary keys. Okay, and you go for restrictions. So now you can see about a primary key, it is giving me different information like what is the database name, schema name, or table name, like this. Okay, so it all changes. This information will changes based upon the object we are selecting. So now these four informations, I can store it in a four variables. I can loop through that information using that variables. Okay, now let us see. So first of all, first thing is database name. Now let me use the same variable. Second one is database name, schema name. Okay, okay, schema name. Okay, now after one is table name. So let me reuse the variable name, table name. The next one is table type. Okay, now let me go for variable table type. Okay, click on. So this container is giving me four information like names, database name, schema name, table name and table type, and let me capture those data in four variables. And inside this, if I want, I can load into any other table or any other let us say just want to display it. Instead of pushing the data into a table using the execute SQL task, I can insert the data into a table. But I want to insert into it, I want to just display. Now for display purpose, just go for using the script task. Now inside this, so I want to display the variables. I want to read the data from the variables. Which variables? So let me go for, we have the database name, schema name, table name and table type. Click on it. So first one is database name, schema name, table name and table type. Let me go for edit script. So instead of pushing the data into any other table, I just want to display. Okay. Now let me go display that. So to display purpose, I can take the help of message box. So first one is database name, DB name, okay, and DTS dot variables dot to display the value. I can go for DTS dot variables dot. So the DB name is either I can go and use the variable name or I can use its position also. No, so I can go and write variables of 0, okay, dot value dot to string. So let me copy it for four more variables. Okay, like this. Now let me go for schema name. Okay, third one is schema name. Okay, third one is table name. Fourth one is table type. Okay, now let us go for it. So DTS start variable 1, variable 2. I can use the index position also. Variable 3. Okay, so let me save it and close it. So I'm saving it and building it for checking for errors. Now let me close it. Click on it. So what this container will do is, so I'm going to the table object. I have selected a ADO.NET schema row set and I want to have connect to the particular database DB7 and I want to loop through the list of tables present in this database. Okay, and this will give me the four information: database name, schema name, table name and table type, and I am displaying those values by taking the help of script task. Now let me go and execute this container. Now you can see it is displaying me the DB name as DB7, schema name as DBO, table name as EMP, synonym, table type as synonym. So it will look through because now you can see it is going for DBO, SSIS, SSIS log table, that is a system table. So it will loop through all the synonyms, all the system tables and all the user created tables. Okay. So how many tables are there? If it is 1000 tables are there, it will loop through all the table names. Okay, like this. Now, if I want to loop through only the user created table names, I don't want to loop through the system tables or synonyms. I just want to loop through the user created tables. So can I provide that filter? Yes, you can provide that filter. You can see that we have a restriction option. No? Here I can go and see I can provide a filter condition here. So I want to loop through the, if I want to loop through a particular schema, okay, I can go and give the schema name here. Suppose if you have HR department schema, let us say if I have HR department schema, I have one in this database. So the DB size 7. Let me go and see. So now you can see I have one schema name called HR deport and I have two tables here. Okay, so the default schema name is DBO, that is DB owner, and I have one of the schema name called HR department is there. Now you can see if I go for security under the schemas, I can see one of the schema name is HR department and I have two tables here. Okay, suppose if I want to put a filter condition like I want to loop through the HR department schema name tables only, then I can go and select up to the schema and I can give the schema name here. Now if I go and execute this, it will show me only that particular data schema tables. It will display me only those two tables which are related to that schema. Now you can see schema name is HR department is coming and this is the table name. Now one more table, I click on OK, that's it. Okay, similarly if I want to loop through the user tables, go to the collection, go to the restriction. Now I want to loop through the not particular schema. I want to loop through the table type as only the user created tables. Then you can go and specify table, data system table, or so if you want to loop through the system table, you can go and specify table type as system table. But if you want to loop through the user created tables, so just to specify the text as table, which will show you only the user created tables, but not the system tables or synonyms. So for that I have selected up to the table type because I am writing a condition on this one now. So I have selected the checkbox of this and I have specified the what table I want to loop through. Now you can go and execute this. It will show you only the user created tables. So now you can see table type is table and you can see EFP underscore data. This is a user created table. So it is not looping through. Now you can see EFP underscore Excel data dollar. So now you can see always the table type will be table only, but not no system tables. Okay, like this. So if you have 100 table user created tables, it will loop through all those tables. Okay, like this. So we have so many tables, so that's why it is looping through all the table names. Okay, so you can see another department, HR department schema name, table type is table. I think this is the last one. So this is about schema rosette enumerator. If you want to loop through the objects of a database, okay, you have to go for the schema rosette enumerator. Okay, like this. Suppose if I want to loop through a array list data, if I want to loop through a array list of items, okay. So if I want to loop through a variable, now let us go and see one more container. So we have, suppose we have variable eliminated. We suppose if your data is present inside a variable, okay, if your data or if you have a list of items which are present inside a variable, that is, let us say array list variable, if you are, there are some items present inside array, okay, then how we can loop through that, okay. If you have a list of items present in an array list, how we can do that, okay. So first of all, let me create some array list variable, okay, and push some data into that variable, okay. So first of all, I should require some variable in which it contains some data, okay. So let me create some source data, let me create some array list to send as input to this container. So let me create some array list, okay. How to create array list is, so first of all, let me declare a variable, go for add variable. Now let me declare one table of variable, okay. So let us say variable object. So I want to create one array list object. So list object, list underscore object. So since it is a collection of items, so let me make it as a object variable. Okay, I have declared one object variable. Okay, now let us. So I want to push some list of items into this variable object. Okay, now how can I do that is, so first of all, let me declare this array list. How can I declare array list is, I can take the help of script task. So I can write some C# code to create array list and specify the list of items. On those items, I will push it into this object variable I have created. Okay, I have initialize one array list and create some items in that array list, and those items, those array list item, I will push it to this variable object. So let us see how we can do that. Go to the script task. So now what you want to do after creating the list of items, I want to push it to this. After creating the list of items, I want to push it to this variable. No? So here we are not reading the data present in a variable. We want to push the data into the variable. We want to push the data, means read and write. We want to push the data into the variable. Then go and select this. Now let us go and see. So let me go and select this variable. In which variable you want to push? Now we have created one variable list object. Select this. Okay. Now go to this edit script. So using the C# code, I want to create some array list. Okay. So let us see that how we can create array list in the inside the C#. So system dot our collections. Okay. System dot collection dot array list. Okay. So let me declare some variable. Let us say variable Krishna as some array list variable. Okay. Is equal to new system dot collection dot array list. Okay. Now I have created one variable Krishna. Okay. Now what I want to do, I want to push some items into this variable, array list variable. My variable name is variable Krishna dot add. Let me add some items. Okay. So add. So let us say something like Krishna some items. Let's say something like Durga, Prasad. Okay. So let me have so I'm adding some items into my array list. Okay. Not Prasad. Okay, I have added some multiple items. Yeah, I have added some four items. Krishna, Durga, Prasad, Mohan. Okay. Now this list of array values, okay, this array list items, what are the values present in this array list? I want to push it to the table object. Whatever I have created a table object here, no? Okay, what is the object name? That is this one, no? So I want to push those four items into this object. Variable list object. Let us call this dts dot variables. What is my variable name? My variable name is this one. Okay, dot value is equal to this values. Whatever the values present in this variable list, I want to push these values, push this array list values, array list of items to this object like this. Okay. So dts dot variables dot by variable name dot value is equal to whatever the value present in this variable array. That is Krishna, Durga, Prasad. So these four items I'm pushing into this array list. Okay, right. That's it. Okay. So you have to practice. Okay, just a simple code. I have declared one array list variable within a variable Krishna. Okay, and I am just adding those items here, and I am pushing those items into the one of the object variable I have created. Okay, so let me save it and build it. Build it succeeded. Let me close it. Click on OK. Okay, so in this script task, I am getting one object variable in which I have the multiple list of items. Now, if I want to loop through the variable, whatever the data present in a variable, if I want to loop through any variable data, now in which variable your data is present? My variable name is list of object, variable object list. Go to the variable and push those data. So let us say, let me create one variable name p underscore emp dates. Let me use a variable emp dates. Okay, first index, yes. Okay, I've just selected a variable enumerator and I am putting whatever the objects no, present in this variable. No, four names are present in this object. No, so I'm capturing in this variable. Okay, so now if you want to push the data into any other table, you can go and push the data into the table. Or if you want to just to display, you can go and use the script task one more time. Okay. Suppose let us say I want to push this data names into a variable, okay, into a table. Then let me go and create one db size 7. Let me create table underscore variable names. Now what can I do? I can go for execute SQL task and I can go on. So my parameter values, first of all, my names will coming in. Let me go for which database, db size 7. What is the table name? Table variable names. can go right, set it to table variable names, values, which values, let us say values, whatever value coming from the question mark. Okay. Go to the parameter mapping. So let me go for, so your employee name is coming from which variable? That is variable date. Okay. This is of input. Yes, this is of input. Data type log, and what is the parameter position? It will always start with the 0. Okay. Now no result set. Why? Because we are inserting the data. The result set will be done. Okay. So using the script task, we are putting the array list data into a table object, and using the container, we are connected to the table object. Okay, and pushing one by one name into this variable. Okay, and using execute SQL task, we are inserting that variable employee name into the one of the table. Okay. Now, if I want to execute these two as a separate unit, if I go and execute the package, every one of the tasks will start executing. But I want only these two to execute separately. Then put them inside a sequence container. Okay, put them inside a sequence container, paste it. Okay, now execute these two separately. Go and execute the sequence container. We have an execute container option on the sequence container, so that only these two will execute separately. So the script task will create an array list and add those items into a table object. Okay. Now after adding, we are pushing the data into this container. So here, I think here it is varchar, but we have declared it as log. No? So here we have declared it as data type as log. It should be of varchar. Okay, employee name. So it should not be log. It should be of varchar. Okay. So now you can see we are able to push the data into the table. Now you can see that where those variable names are present here or not. Now you can see we have all the table names. All the names are inserted in this table. Okay. So this is about the item enumerator, enum.net schema, rosette enumerator, and variable enumerator. Okay. Okay. I stop now. So any doubts?
No, sir. Sir, can you please end the recording
Yeah,
for
sure.
me?
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.